Let's bring our good friend from Baltimore on the line as we close out the show. We've got Bernard Hollywood Williams hanging on the line, Olympic gold medalist. Hollywood, how you doing, my friend?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic.
B-Dubs.
Getting excited for the Super Bowl?
You bet I am. I found out that Wesley Snipes is going to be on one of the commercials.
What?
He is. He's in. You haven't heard about this? He's in the Mr. Peanut commercial. It's already,
Yeah, that's.
and he's in it along with the stand-up comedian Matt Walsh. The stand-up comedian is in this. It's the death of Mr. Peanut. I'm curious where they're going with this. Are they actually killing off Mr. Peanut? Is it over with, done with? Somebody gave me a great idea that they're not actually killing off Mr. Peanut, but if you remember, he fell from the cliff, which would have caused, once he hit the rocks, that probably would have caused the shell to break.
Yep.
And then he lands on the RV, which explodes into flames, right?
Right.
Maybe they are setting us up for unshelled, roasted peanuts. Coming, new product from Planters.
But where does Wesley Snipes kick in? Like
Because the guy needed work?
Yeah, he needed work. He was probably cheap to get.
He's been hiding out of the country for like the last decade, I think, out of like tax evasion or something like that. So
Yeah.
Right. I didn't know if they was going to have like Mr. Peanut in prison or,
He breaks in his blade.
I didn't know where they was going with it.
So since your track and field career, as being an Olympic gold medalist, you had since moved on from some of that. You still do a lot of camps and working with a lot of athletes, but you've entered into the world of stand-up comedy. So you know what it's like to set up a joke, right?
Right.
Right. And you can go too far. If it takes too much effort to set up a joke, the joke's probably not there, right? Kind of like this one. Kind of like this joke, right?
Well, let's do it.
Okay, let's go there. So a Kansas City TV news reporter, the Tricia Tanaka type. Well, now it's coming up at 7. The Tricia Tanaka type.
Baby.
She comes down from Kansas City. This is working way too hard to set up a joke. She comes down from Kansas City, goes down to Miami to Super Bowl's opening night. She's dressed up as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. She made this trip. What is
Weird
that like?
flex.
What is that like? 2,000 miles?
Yeah.
2,000 miles that she travels from Kansas City to Miami. She has one question on her mind. There is one question that she wants to answer. Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. That she wants to ask him. Just one. Is it true there's no place like Mahomes?
That's hilarious.
Way too hard to set up a joke. If you've got to travel 2,000 miles in a Dorothy costume to do a weak pun like that.
I don't know, man. That's pretty. You gotta admire that dedication, but
Tid for execution, but
yeah.
pull off.
She's definitely not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah, where you couldn't even go with you're from Kansas City. We're definitely not in Kansas anymore. You missed the obvious one to pull out.
She needed help.
There's
she needs
no
some milk.
place like Mahomes. My
Oh,
daughter.
man. That's what those.
Yeah, and now you've gotten your moment. You've gotten your moment. And Pat Mahomes, by the way, he, as you can imagine, I guess not. I guess there isn't. The most awkward look ever.
Yeah.
Now you're standing there in the Super Bowl opening night, and you're in a Dorothy costume the rest of the night, and you have to answer why.
Lady, you're scaring us. She's
But guess what, though? She made our radio segment. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It worked.
B-Dubs.
It worked.
See, B-Dubs always glass is always half empty.
It's all about moving up
For some.
markets. You start in Kansas City. Next thing you know, we're going to be seeing her covering the D.C. news, or maybe in Baltimore, somewhere like
Beastie.
I'm telling you,
Beastie,
man, you never know, man. I lived in Kansas for 2 years. There's nothing to do out there in Great Bend, Kansas, so I can understand why she traveled so far for the Super Bowl,
She's like, listen, I'm getting a trip to South Beach out of this deal. Listen, I'll wear the Dorothy costume for a night, and it'll be thongs tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to remember, in Kansas, they don't have palm trees, and there's nothing tropical at all, so I understand the trip,
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
So earlier we were talking about this story. This guy's in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He has a patch of ice in front of his house. Old man sits out on his front porch and starts blaring music from the Benny Hill theme. You remember the Benny Hill theme, right, Bernard?
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah,
You know, so this guy
He
is
does.
blaring the Benny Hill theme as people are slipping and falling on the ice. The cops show up and they're going to arrest this guy. And now there's a small chase, which now happens with the cops chasing an old man with the Benny Hill theme playing in the background. To my point, there is no crime committed here. He didn't cause the ice. He's just playing some music. He's just laughing at people. There is no crime committed here. The only crime, he didn't film it.
Yeah, that's a crime.
That's a crime because we need to see this on YouTube. This would have been classic. But, I mean, what is something that you want to do as an old man that you're waiting to get away with, that you can't wait till you get your old man card and you're like, I'm going to do this all the time?
I don't know, man. I probably have to keep that private. I have to tell you off air.
My thing was nice and tame. I just want to be able to fall asleep whenever, wherever, in whatever company I want to. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, family's over at the house visiting. We're all watching a movie. I'm snoozing on the couch. I want to be that guy.
Shoot, I'm that guy right now.
Bernard, you're not old man yet. You're definitely far from that. Beastie, before we get out of here, who's our beast of the day?
Giannis earlier this season had a game with 50 points and 10 rebounds. Last night, Chris Middleton, without Giannis, had 50 points and 10 rebounds. They're the third pair of teammates in NBA history at 50 and 10, joining Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Cool.
There we go. Very cool. Bernard, always appreciate you being a part of the show. Joe, thanks for filling in for Hemo today. Beastie,
Got you.
always a pleasure. You're coming up next. You got Beauty and the Beast with Callie Cash. You guys got a good show planned?
Yeah, we're gonna promo the Super Bowl, and also I'm gonna do my fighting strategy against Robbie Shanks.
Oh no.
There is no strategy that will defeat a Robbie
Tune in.
Shanks in a wrestling ring.
You need B-dubs to teach you speed because you're gonna need it.
I'm gonna need it. Listen, I got to avoid.
It's absolute pandemonium.
I need speed and agility because there will be no stink face coming my way. Listen, I got to be able to duck out of that. One move is the one I have to be able to get away from. Glad you guys are doing a full-on Super Bowl update because, of course, remember, you can listen to the game right here on the ticket. Coverage starts at 1 o'clock, kickoff at 5:30, 100.3, 97.1 in Pensacola. Thanks for listening. Beauty and the Beast coming up next. Bernard, you're awesome.
Thanks.